Good morning, everybody. Dr. Rick dropping in on you. Hope everybody is doing pretty good, getting your week off to a great start. Hope that you are on schedule and moving as planned. But remember what I always say: if you are still breathing, you're still in the fight. What does that mean? That means that everything isn't going to always go your way. You're going to have some rough patches. You're going to have some difficult moments. You're going to have some challenges. You're going to experience some setbacks, some delays. But if you're still breathing, you're still in the fight. That means that you're still in a position to change your situation. And your responsibility is to make the moves, the choices, the commitments, and the decisions that challenge you and push you towards the changes that you desire. Any change worth having is going to require you to do something beyond that thing which is comfortable. Today, I want to talk to you real briefly about 7 things that you need to take out of your life. You need to remove these 7 things. You need to banish them. You need to conquer them. You need to overcome them. 7 things that if you conquer these 7 things, I guarantee you your life will change. That's the beautiful thing to me about life as I have discovered it, learned it, and mastered it in many areas and taught many people how to do the same, is that if you start knocking down the small things, you eventually conquer the big ones. The big ones are just a bunch of small things compiled. But when you start to address these little things as you move through life and stop accepting them as your lot in life, stop accepting the things that are holding you back as something immutable and unchangeable, and start moving into your purpose and your design and your being and pursuing your dreams. So here we go. Number one on the list is fear. Fear is something we all have to face down in our life if we want to move on. But you need to be able to understand that on the other side of fear is freedom. On the other side of fear is your dreams. On the other side of fear is everything worth having. And you're going to have to embrace courage. You're going to have to find a way to step out of your comfort zone. And the thing is, fear is a little nudge and the little whisper, the little lie that's being told to you that you can't do it. You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to experience horror and terror if you try something different. Fear is the thing that says people are going to laugh at you. Fear is the thing that says you're going to fail. And what you've got to do is be willing to say, you know what, no matter what happens, I'm going to go out here. Because if I don't go out here, the one thing that's guaranteed is that I'm not going to win. If I never play the game, I can't win. If I never get in, I will never win. If I never pursue it, I will never overtake it. So I've got to get out here and try. I've got to be willing to risk failure. I've got to be willing to risk pain. I've got to be willing to risk difficulty if I'm going to do something beyond what is average. If I'm going to get out of that box that the vast majority of the world resides in, the box of average, the box of mediocrity, the box of where everybody else is because everybody's doing the same thing and nobody's looking up because everybody is looking at each other for validation of why they're there, and nobody is ascending because nobody's aspiring. And that's where you can't be, but you're going to have to be willing to face down fear if you're ever going to overtake that. And then the next one is limiting beliefs. Man, if I could tell you, I created an entire course and I licensed it to institution. Non-disclosure clause won't let me say what that institution, who that institution of what school it was, but I licensed it and they literally taught it as a course. And the license expired a couple of years ago. I recreated it and then I implemented it into a new program. But limiting beliefs, overcoming limiting beliefs, conquering limiting beliefs, is everybody has these beliefs that they are uh, overcome with, passed down to, that had them passed down to them. You got them as a kid. You can't do this. You can't do that because you come from here. You can't do that. You're not smart enough. You're not strong enough. You're not big enough, whatever. And you get these ideas. Nobody from this side of town has ever done that. Nobody from our family has ever done that. You can't do that because. and you buy into that and you shape your beliefs and your behaviors are going to be a reflection of your belief. Nobody goes out and invests exorbitant amounts of energy into something they don't believe they can do. It's just not going to happen. And if you're not investing energy into something, if you're not passionately pursuing it, what are the results going to be? You're not going to have it. And it's going to reinforce the idea that you can't have it. So you literally, over time, reinforce these limiting beliefs that say you can't. The beautiful thing is you can overcome those limiting beliefs. The beautiful things is you can replace those limiting beliefs with liberating and empowering beliefs. There's a process. God designed our brains and our minds to be highly adaptable. It's called neuroplasticity. It means that I can literally take on new beliefs. I can literally develop new neural pathways in my mind, in my brain, that will house new beliefs. I can literally change a belief that I can't to a belief that I can. I'm not stuck believing the old. I can literally embrace the new. And it's a beautiful thing, but you have to be willing to pursue it. The next thing is negative emotions. Your emotions are what anchor you. Your emotions are what set the state of how you move. Your emotions are what literally locks in trauma, locks in horrible memories, locks in doubt, and it will anchor you. Your experiences emotionally are what will either charge you or drive you to do something or lock you in and keep you from doing it, because your emotions are tied to experiences. And those experiences, when you experience an emotion that's tied to a negative experience, it anchors that negative experience, it reinforces that negative experience, and it reinforces all of your beliefs and thoughts associated with that negative experience. You've got to learn how to create positive emotional experiences, and you can literally do that through your thinking, because God designed this beautiful brain and mind to be able, not to be able to distinguish between what's being imagined, what's being stated and thought, and what's real. You can literally sit up. That's why affirmations and vision boards are so powerful. That's why speaking things that are not as though they were is so powerful, because the mind can't tell the difference. You're literally telling your mind what you want it to believe, and it'll resist in a conscious state over time. But there are ways to get into the brain wave of theta, which is a downloading brain wave with no conscious filter, meaning that you don't have your conscious mind telling you, that's crazy. You can't do that. The conscious mind is shut down, because what? You're going into a state of theta where you will eventually end up in a state of delta, which is total subconsciousness or unconsciousness, because you sleep, but that theta state. But just even when you have your conscious mind going, you keep saying it, the filter wears down. I'm telling you, there's a way to change it. And you should be excited about it, because as you change your thinking, you change your life. I promise you. Self-doubt. Self-doubt is like a wall in the middle of the pathway to your dreams. Self-doubt is that thing where you talk yourself out of doing the things that are necessary for you to have the things that you desire. Self-doubt is the thing that lets you become consumed with old things. You're constantly consulting the past for permission to do something new in the future. And if there's nothing in the past that supports it, you'll talk yourself out of it. Well, mama never did it. Daddy never did it. How can I possibly do it? There's nobody in my family that did it. I never got good grades in this area. All these different things, you'll talk yourself out of it. But there's a way to overcome self-doubt. There's a way to infuse confidence within yourself. There's a way of systematically and incrementally pursuing something beyond what you've ever experienced before. Number 5 is an attachment to the past. Man, how many people are living in the past? This person did this to me. This person did that. This is all I've ever been able to do. This is the best I've ever did at this. This is the most I've ever made. All of my relationships end like this. All these different things caught in the past, and you've got all this negative stuff going through your mind. Getting caught up in the past, being consumed and trapped in the past, focusing on the past. It's like looking in the rearview mirror constantly, trying to drive forward and get where you're going. You need to be aware it's in the past, because in the past is some lessons. In the past are some ideas of what not to do. And then there are those moments in the past where you succeeded. Those are things you want to revisit, because in those things you have hope. It was Jeremiah in the book of Lamentations that says, these are the things I recall to mind, therefore I have hope. But so it's in the right moments, but you can't be constantly peering into your past, expecting to carefully and precisely move into your future. You got to put the past behind you, because the things you're going to do in the future that you've never done before won't come from your past. It will come from your imagination. It will come from you opening your mind to the mind of God, the infinite consciousness of the universe that comes to you and delivers to you answers. Do you know that the guy who created the periodic table is literally did it, and it came to him in his sleep? It's about being open, and so many ideas came in times of people sitting back and getting out of their own way in their thinking. So get out of the past. Number 6, resistance to change. Man, if it's one thing we don't like, it's change. We don't want change. We don't want experience. Why is it that people resist change so much? Because the natural inclination, the natural proclivity or yearning is to have what? Comfort and security. And change takes you out of the familiar and puts you in a place that you're unfamiliar with, which immediately creates a level of dis-ease and discomfort that locks you into a place of uneasiness. And we don't like that uneasiness. So what do we tend to do? We tend to resist change. The problem is, when you resist change, you resist growth. When you resist change, you resist progress. In other words, if you're growing, you're going to need more space to grow. So where you started isn't going to be where you end up, and you've got to be willing to step out of that comfort zone. You may have been planted here, but you're going to outgrow the pot. You're going to outgrow the garden. You're going to have to move to larger pastures, larger ground, deeper soil, so that your roots can take hold and grow out and expand, and that you can go up higher. You can't stay in the same space. You're going to have to be willing to change environments. You're going to have to be willing to change locations. You're going to have to be willing to change your thinking, but you can't stay where you are. And finally, the victim mentality. The victim mentality is a surrendering of your personal sovereignty with a tendency to blame outside influences on situations that are really truly internal realities. Let me explain it to you another way. People tend to believe things are happening to them. That victim mentality says, look what happened to me. Why me? Oh, woe is me. I'm so tired of it. I can't win for losing. And look what they did to me. Look what he did to me. Look what she did to me. And I'm not saying that there aren't things happening outside of you. What I'm saying is, you are designed so that you can overcome whatever external things are moving toward you, but you got to have a belief in yourself. Life isn't happening to you, it's responding to you. It's responding to your level of faith. What do you believe is happening in your life? Because whatever you expect is what you get. You are never going to receive beyond what you expect. God meets you at the level of your expectations. Life meets you at the level of your expectations. The universe meets you at the level of your expectations. However you want to see it, however you want to call it, you're only going to live life at the level of your expectations. What are you expecting? Because what are you expecting is what you're going to get. It's not what they're doing. It's how you're viewing it. It's what you're allowing. If you don't like what you're getting, change your situation, change your thinking, change your location, change your circle, change your expectations, aim higher. Because when you elevate in thinking, when you elevate in aspiration, when you elevate in expectation, when you elevate in standard, you elevate in reality. You have the ability to take yourself into places that you could have never imagined, but it's up to you. It's up to you to do what's necessary in your life to change it. But those 7 things: fear, limiting beliefs, negative emotions, self-doubt, attachment to the past, resisting change, and victim mentality have to come out of your life. So you've got to make a committed effort to change your situation. It's not up to anybody else to do it. It's not up to anybody else to do it for you. Now, you may have to work with somebody to make it happen. You may need to seek guidance and help, and there's nothing wrong with that. That may expedite the situation, and you may get through it quicker that way. But you can't expect nobody else to fix it for you. It's yours to fix. The beautiful thing is, I created the Mind Unleashed course. Um, as a part of that, helping people conquer limiting beliefs, helping people get past their fear, helping people change their thinking and master their emotions, helping people move beyond what they've experienced in the past to create new, exciting, and unbelievable futures, moving from being homeless to being a business owner and everything else in between. There's absolutely nothing you cannot have if you believe you can have it and you're willing to put in the work and you're willing to go the distance. The problem is we soft in this world because we have gotten this place of entitlement. We think things are handed to us. And if it's not handed to us, then we feel we're being cheated. No, you got to go out and seize it. You got to go out and take hold of it. You got to make up in your mind that this is mine. I have a right to it. I'm going to stand up in it. I'm going to speak it. I'm going to walk it. I'm going to think it. I'm going to believe it. I'm going to surround people. I'm going to surround myself with people who will help me ignite the flames of my passion, then fan the flames and hold me accountable. That's what you're going to do. And the Mind Unleashed course is just that. It is a way, it is short of working with me, but definitely it's the peek inside of my mind and how I work with my clients. And it's a step-by-step process of exploring the power of your mind in a way that you can't possibly imagine. Oh man, I'm excited about my 28th book, which drops at the end of this month, which is Healed and Whole. And it's an exploration of um, all the things that, man, it's a combination. It's holistic healing. It's not just about your physiology. It's not just about your mentality. It's about your spirituality. It's about the wholeness of self and how you can literally heal from within when you're in the right state. And I am excited about this book because I think it's going to help millions of people. That's my goal. But it's, me, I just love presenting what I learn, what I study, what I have mastered. So again, if you're looking for an opportunity to remove those 7 things um, from your life, um, the link to the Mind Unleashed course is there. You can sign up in one or two ways. You can sign up and pay in full. And when you pay in full today, you'll get a free session with yours truly. You can also pay in installments through the account. Now, this is actually on our platform for our school for the Visionetics Institute. And just some things we're excited about. We're doing things, we're changing things. Um, you know, I'm living my vision. I'm living my dream. Um, sometimes it seems like a nightmare, but I see the bigger picture. And so I have experienced some unbelievable things. I've lived life in a way that very few people will live it. And I'm not done yet. And I want to bring as many people along with me. You're not stuck. You need to make a shift. So on that note, look, I'm gonna get ready to get out of here. As I always say, I live my life on full so that when I leave this place, I die on E. I am challenging you to do the same thing. Live your life on full. Don't leave any untapped potential in any day. Every day I wake up and I give that day all that it deserves. Because when the 86,400 seconds in that day is gone, they can't be recovered. And I don't take life casually. It doesn't mean I run around working 18, 19, 20 hours a day. It means that every minute has meaning to me. I don't take it for granted. I invest in it. Sometimes it's rest. Sometimes it's fellowship and love. This weekend, I am ministering to a youth group. Again, it's finding a way to be impactful. And the beautiful thing I loved about this, no matter where I've been in my life, no matter where, on the greatest heights and the lowest lows, I've been able to minister to the lives of people, because you don't need money to touch a life. You just have to have the will to do so. And in touching that life, it lifts you. It lifts you. And it elevates you, and it reminds you of your design. It reminds you of your purpose. It reminds you of your destiny. It reminds you that what you're going through right now is temporary. It reminds you that if you keep pressing, if you don't give up, something is going to happen differently, and it always does. I want to share that with as many people as possible. So I'm challenging you: stand up, square your shoulders, and prepare to make a difference. For those of you who do sign up for the course, I wish you the best. The support team will be at your um, disposal, um, so that you can, any questions, anything going on, anything really heavy, it gets passed on to me. And so, and those who pay in full will actually get to sit down in a complete 45-minute session with me. So those are real exciting. You'd be surprised at what you can learn and what you can shift in 45 minutes. I've done it in 15. I've literally helped somebody shift in 15 minutes. You'd be surprised just how locked in and patternized your thinking is. And all you gotta do is disrupt the pattern, and all of a sudden, whoa. I love, this is what I do. This is what I love. So again, I want to thank you guys for dropping in. Have an unbelievable day, and I will see you soon. Take care.